And we're back with Goma News on Wheels and Daniel Swang. Daniel Swang. Say that correctly. Okay. Dan, there is a lot of excitement around mobile advertising. And there's also a lot of confusion around mobile advertising. It's obviously a very important business. Part of the narrative goes, everything in the future will be ad-supported. Do you think that's true?
No.
Why?
Because there's enough room. I think it's going to be a very big market and a very big universe, but there's enough room to consume other products and services that don't necessarily, like the XM radio or a Sirius example. Our services, sometimes your advertising is great and it's helpful actually. Sometimes you don't want to have it.
So in a case like Blick, where the entire experience that is ad-supported, does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense, because Blick is not operating in a vacuum. They're another option from a consumer perspective. They're another option alongside with that have other models. And as a consumer, you can select whatever you want. That's the whole idea. So some people want to get everything free and happy to get advertising. Great, but that doesn't apply to 100% of the universe. The industry on its own, and I believe that across the board, is a perfect example of an industry where at any given point, at the same time, for each product, you can find two contradicting business models. So, and they coexist. And I think advertising is going to follow the same.
Well, your announcements are really interesting from a number of perspectives, but certainly one of them is the charge, mobile advertising is all hype, and that no one is prepared to spend money on it yet because no one's figured out how to execute on it. Certainly, your announcements seem to contradict that statement. But do you have a sense for big brands plan to do in terms of ad spend or marketing spend for their mobile efforts?
So, obviously I can't share the intimate knowledge that I have with some of the customers, but I can tell you that the difference between 07 and 08 is 07 was the year of, I would say, year of experimentation. 08, contrary to that, is also a year of, the only difference is the scale of experimentation. So opposed to budgets that were in the ranges of, I would say, 10 to 50, rarely 100K budget for experimentation with mobile. This year, we know for a fact that some companies move their budget to 1 million, 5 million. It's still small budget,
right?
But it makes experimentation a little bit more interesting, a little bit more daring. There is some knowledge base that you start from. It's not all blank. I think it will become more sophisticated, more matrix-oriented, and will set the ground for further growth. And again, I don't think there is any given point. People expect an inflection point. I think it's way more gradual. More people are willing to experiment. Budgets are growing. People that already had some experience are experimenting to scale or in a more sophisticated way. But if you look at it, nobody puts $500 million in mobile advertising. Or the industry is not there and will not be there even next year. But it's enough to create a viable thrive.
Yeah, that all makes a lot of sense. The other thing that's related to what JumpTap does in mobile search is the concept of SEO. So SEO on the web is very well understood. The behavior of search engines, there's been a lot written about them, a lot published about them. They're probably, it's easy to say they're better understood than mobile search is. There certainly helps to have one dominant player with the lion's share of the market on the web. Of course, again, with mobile, like everything else, that's not the case. How do you think that mobile SEO gets executed across all the different search vendors, and what do you think mobile SEO is going to look like?
So before I answer your question, I want to comment on one underlying comment in your it helps having one big giant Google from an SEO perspective, but if you look at all the quiet settlements that are happening, either lawsuits and all the merchants that are getting hurt by lack of appearance by this basically monopoly, that's not always a very, very good experience. So it's not all. I think first today there are already mobile-specific SEOs. There's some. I'm not advertising now anyone, but if you look around, there are already shops that action and have experience in doing that job for mobile. Now it's a different kind of job because the way the mobile web works is not based on interlinking or page rank algorithms. It doesn't work on mobile. It's a different kind of work. Yet there is a lot of optimization still. And the optimization starts from the site design, from thinking bottom up, what is it that the mobile through a user through a mobile phone, which is essentially different than what people look for through their PC. So it starts from the design of the site and goes all the way as it goes on the web. Just different companies. I know for a fact big SEOs already having either developed or in the process specialty shop or site department that focuses on mobile because the demand is there and they're being asked by the customers and it's a growing in private marketplace. Essentially, the market structure in this case is going to be fundamentally different than on the web. Because in many cases, it's an opportunity for newcomers and different people, and things are done differently. The mobile web is not a shrink-down replica of the wired web.
Well, listen, thanks very much for coming by. We enjoyed it. Congratulations on the 2 deal announcements this week.
Thank you very much.
And we enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you for the time and attention and opportunity.
You bet. Go Mills. Live at CTIA, this is Debbie Jones.